Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's video just going over the big headlines of crypto from last week. We got big FTX news coming up and what that means for the space. Is it a bad thing, good thing? We'll cover that. We'll talk about Bitcoin's price above 66. We've been trading sideways for the longest time, so it's good to see Bitcoin coming to life. We'll talk about the Bitcoin ETF inflows, talk about some other alts as well, some big news as far as, CZ being released, SBF and his new roommate, or cellmate rather. So we'll get into all of that. So guys, stay tuned. And if you like the video, please hit that like button. If you want to see more of my content, please subscribe to the channel, help the channel grow. So let's take a look and see what we got as far as FTX. So there was a lot of news circulating on crypto Twitter that tomorrow FTX will be reaching settlements and issuing settlements versus everything that happened to them last bull cycle. But it turned out that tomorrow is just a hearing. And then October 7th is actually when, the hearing is to be approved as far as settlements and how that's all going to be distributed. So, it's kind of premature with the headlines that you were seeing out there that tomorrow is going to be the day where FTX will be releasing. That's not actually true. So that's good. But I am wondering what will happen once those settlements are released. Because obviously you got the smaller players, retail investors like you and I, then you have institutional investors. My wonder is, will they recoup the money, cash out as USD or USDT, or would they reinvest into the crypto space? That remains to be seen, but I'm interested to see what will happen. My guess would probably be about 50-50, right? Some people will probably take profit. When this happened, probably the numbers were a little bit low as far as altcoins, whatever they invested in. Bitcoin's probably lower as well. So my guess is some people will take profit. Some people, smart people, will know where their crypto space is headed, keep the money in there, and ride it to the moon. So we'll see what happens with that. We'll be interested to see. Next, we got here in the US, we got key inflation data rated at 2.2%, which is lower than expected. So that is pretty good. Year over year, it was 2.7, we're down 2.2. And all that means here in the US, and a lot of central banks, they all talk to each other all across the world, is that there's going to be a lot of cuts happening. So we got a 50 basis point in September. The next one is going to happen in November 7th. And based on that 2.2 number that we just saw, what's going to happen in November? The market is predicting that here in the US, we'll get another 50 basis point cut, another one. So once you start loosening, interest rates and money's flowing, risk assets tend to go up. And I love to see it. Either way, even if we get another 25-point cut, it's still going to be good. Right now, it's at 45.3, predicting that. But the higher is 54.7. And with that 2.2 inflation number going down lower, November 7th, which is like 4 days before the U.S. election, I imagine it will probably get a 50 basis point, just so the markets can go up and the narrative can be, hey, markets is doing good, economy is doing good, and that would help out whoever's in office. So I'm liking the way everything is shaking up for Bitcoin. And we know that historically in peak bulls, that fourth quarter, after the halving cycle, especially in the election cycle, Bitcoin tends to go crazy. And then FOMO will really hit. So I'm very excited about that. So I hope you are too when paying attention to what's happening. Also back to central markets and everything, central banks. I'm hearing that China is cutting the basis point for existing loans. Existing. I mean, they have a real estate issue going on over there, so I'm pretty sure that they're trying to do whatever they can to boost that economy. And there's tons of people out in China. And once that money starts flowing, and once they, I think this cycle they will approve the trading for Bitcoin and crypto and everything like that. It's already been approved in Hong Kong, but wait till that gets approved in China. It's only a matter of time before that starts happening. The amount of money that's coming to the space is going to be ridiculous, guys. But let's take a look at what we got currently as far as coin market cap goes. Global crypto market cap's at 2.3 trillion, up about 1.7%. And then we got, as far as Bitcoin dominance, 56.2, ETH dominance, 14%. ETH dominance has gone down. Grayscale still unloading with that ETH ETF. And, I believe, people predicting the death of ETH is overstated. I don't think that's going to happen. When Bitcoin hits 100,000, 150,000, ETH is going to do pretty well. I think ETH can hit 10,000. And, we'll see. It could even hit higher than that. But right now it's going through Grayscale, just unloading all the ETH shares. And it's going to take a while before all of that happens. Bitcoin went through the same thing. And we see what Bitcoin's doing right now. So we'll see. Bitcoin and ETH does have a spot ETF. At some point, inflows will start coming in and ETH will do well. But let's take a look at Bitcoin for the past 7 days. 5.4%. ETH up 6.6%. BNB up 7.7%. ETH, or Solana rather, up 7.6%. Then we have XRP up 2%. Doge, we'll cover later on in this video, up 20%. What's the cause of that? I don't know. Toncoin up 9%. ADA, my ADA heads out there, up 15.5%. Avalanche up 12.5%. Shiba almost up 50%. That's crazy. Chainlink up 11.8%. Polkadot 15.4%. Near up 26%. Near is a good one that I like. Litecoin's 8.5%. ICP, or my insane clown posse heads out there, up 17.3%. Pepe is doing good, 31.2%. And Sui, which I covered earlier this week, up 10%. And then, the others, we'll go over at some other time. But those are the ones that I want to talk about today. Overall, the market, we're seeing things are looking better, a lot better compared to last week, last 2 weeks. Fear and greed, according to CoinMarketCap's at 54%, or 54 neutral. Now let's take a look at smart money. What's smart money doing? Now, if we break it down by countries, as far as inflows go, this is per coin shares. We see that Australia, neutral. Brazil, 1.4 million. Canada, negative 2.3 million. Hong Kong, negative 1.3. That will change. Germany, negative 9.5 million. We saw what happened with them unloading Bitcoin. So right now they're not really loving crypto. Sweden, negative 7.8 million. And Switzerland, up 63.4 million. They know what's up. US up, info as far as inflows go, 277 million in total, 321 million inflow into the space. Now if we break it down even further by asset, we see that the inflows 284 million. This is week ending last Friday. Bitcoin inflows 284 million, ETH negative 28.5 million. Not to be alarmed, again grayscale. Solana inflow 3.2 million. Binance negative 700,000. Then you have Litecoin inflow of 200,000, XRP inflow of 100,000, and ADA a negative flow of 200,000. And then others, just a mixed bag of these altcoins. But focus, this one here, 284. People know what's up. Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy still buying. And I'll show you later that the ETFs are still doing their thing, and just people are waking up. We talked about some sovereign countries that are buying. El Salvador still DCAing. The likes of all these millionaires that we don't even know, Mr. 100, etc., all still buying. At some point, light bulb goes off. Everybody's like, oh shoot, I need to get more. Then you have an arms race as far as who can accumulate the most Bitcoin, and then that price up. And that'll impact all of the other alts as well. So good things, guys, good things. Now let's look at the ETFs for 7 consecutive days. So look at these ETFs. And historically September is a bad month for crypto space and Bitcoin, but not this month. It's been looking pretty good, right? For last week, inflow of 494 million. And let's just go back, right? Let's go back to September 20th. Inflow 92 million. September 23rd, inflow 4.5 million. September 24th, 135 million. September 25th, 105.8 million. September 26th, 365 million. September 27th, 494 million. Do you see a trend? Trending upwards. That arms race that I was talking about is going to get even crazier than this. Just you wait. That's my opinion. But that's according to HODL 15 Capital. Good. If you're on crypto, Twitter, definitely give them a follow. They cover a lot of the inflows from these ETFs here in the US, and it's pretty good information. Now, if we look at the US spot ETFs, Bitcoin that is, versus the spot gold ETFs, this early in the game, if we look at how spot gold is doing versus spot Bitcoin, no comparison. Just look at that. This turquoise color, or whatever color you want to call it, Tiffany green color, that's the gold ETF. And then look at all these other spot ETFs for Bitcoin. You have including GBTC, then you have the iShares Trust, which is this blue color right here, and just look at that. all upwards. And then if you look at the 9 spot ETFs excluding GBTC, just look at that number. Just look at that. All the way up. And then look at gold for all my gold bugs up there, right there. This is the future. And all the baby boomers and old heads, that's them right there. But this is the future. You want to be on the right train. You want to be on the right train. So what sector, as far as the past 7 days, have been killing it right now? Meme coins, which we'll cover later on this video, up 29.6%, are killing it. Bridges, then you have data services, then you have AI, ICP, near. Then you have RWA, then you have staking services, up 18.1%. Then you have oracles, 15%, the likes of Chainlink and Pith. Then you have NFT applications, social, blah, blah, blah. But if we focus on these up here, we have memes. And I've said it time and time again in my videos that I think this bull cycle will be driven by memes and AI. Those are the 2 sectors that I think will be killing it right now. So if you're in your altcoins, aside from Bitcoin that is, you want to push the altcoins that are in these narratives, the AI and the memes. And RWA I think will do all right too. But memes and, AI is going to be killing it this cycle. So let's break it down a little bit more according to Artemis. And let's take a look at the daily active addresses. Solana's still killing it at 4 million. And then you have Near at 3 million. Then you have Sui at 1.1 million. Ton at 1.1 million. Aptos coming up at 400,000. Then you have ETH at 365. This is minus the L2s. Then you have Say. Look at Say coming up almost at 100,000. Avalanche C-Chain 28,000. ADA 24,000. Then you have Injective. But look at the daily transactions. There's one thing to have daily active addresses, but look at the transactions, right? Then you have that at 39 mil. Then you have Near at 5.7 mil. Sui at 3.5. Ton 3.5. Aptos 2.4. ETH at 1.1. And Say at 4.3 million, which is very interesting. Avalanche 139,000. Then you have Injective at 2.2 million. So that's interesting as well. So if you're looking at some altcoins, not financial advice, that you probably want to look at, obviously I like Solana, that's my #1 alt, but Near is not one to sleep on. These numbers have been up and up and up. They have the traction, they have the AI narrative. Near is something that you probably want to take a look at. Sui we covered earlier this week. Sui, disclaimer, I'm not getting paid by Sui. I'm too small of a channel to get any of that. So when I talk about Sui, it's just me, just honest opinion on the project. I do know that there are a lot of heavyweights that are pumping this coin. So do your own research. When they say, hey, you can go up to X amount, what is in it for them to promote it like that? That's not me. But, Rob Powell, someone brought it up in the comments. He is on the board of Sui, and he's propping up Sui and Solana. And you have other influencers that are doing the same thing. So be mindful of that. Toncoin is pretty big with Telegram and those mini apps and their clicky games that they have. So that's something, that's a narrative. But, and Say is one that I was on before, but because of the inflation, I got off of it. But these numbers are looking pretty interesting. So Say could do well this bull cycle. ADA, ADA is basically just staking in the community. They have a very strong community and they have a good charismatic leader. And these numbers are small, but when Bitcoin hits over 100,000, ADA will do well as well. But again, out of all of this, if you guys, what I'm looking at is this Near here. Near is another AI play that you probably take a look at. I also like ICP as an AI play as well. So that is that. Let's look at TVL as far as DeFi goes. ETH is always the big dog at 49 billion. Then you look at Solana at 5.4 billion. Some L2s, and then Avalanche is right there at the next L1 at 1 billion. Then you have Sui at 991 million, almost at a billion. Then you have Polygon at 932 million. So let's scroll down a little bit. Aptos we talked about at 554 million. Toncoin at 431. So they're not only in the clicky games, they have TVL as well. And then let's take a look at Near. Near is at 257 million. So for the past month, Near is up about 16%. ADA is up 23% for the past month at 247 million. And Say almost up 100%, with 209 million. So keep an eye on Say. Then Phantom is another one that I like, a sneaky play, up 36%, 106 million as far as TVL goes. And then let's take a look at ICP, up 13% at 53 million. Then if we go down, let's look at Injective. Injective is up 2%, 46 million. So that's it as far as TVL and DeFi goes. Now, something that could be driving the price of Bitcoin going a little bit higher. Obviously, we have the spot ETF inflows. But Gensler was interviewed on Squawk Box, one of these financial channels, financial shows. And he mentioned that he confirmed that Bitcoin is not a security. Duh, he approved it as a spot ETF. But, you know, that's adding to the validity of Bitcoin as being an asset. And he went on to talk about his narrative of, you know, we got to make sure we protect the investors, regulation. And I totally agree with that. But that's his response to everything. But I think this has something to do with Bitcoin going a little bit higher this week. Also, Caroline Ellison with SBF. She finally got sentenced. She only got 2 years. And she's ordered to pay over 11 billion back in assets. She did help cooperate, and that's probably why she only got 2 years versus SBF. So that happened, you know. So it's a lesson to all the fraudsters out there. Don't do it because you can get caught. Also, let's take a look at ICP, open chat. Small, you know, DApp in the blockchain, but look at this. They have a ratio of 50%. So it's a social fi on ICP, and it's just growing. You know, we talk about these narratives as far as AI goes, DeFi, meme coins, and everything like that, but social fi is interesting as well. When you have an open chat that's decentralized, you don't have an intermediary, no one's really looking at your stuff, you have privacy, you can exchange information, intellectual property is your own. Something to think about. And ICP is in this space right now. And if you look at this, a small but growing user base that seems sticky based on high daily active users versus monthly active users, a ratio of 50%. So something to take a look at. You know, you want to think outside the box when you're investing. Don't follow what all the influencers are saying. Believe it or not, it could be the one that you're least thinking about that could probably make you the most gains. A lot of people crap on ICP. A lot of influencers crap on ICP saying it's just too centralized, it's blah, blah, blah. But take a look at the project. It's very interesting. And you got to look at little things like this that people are not paying attention to. Next, along with Caroline, looks like SBF has a new roommate, or cellmate that is. Diddy Combs will be sharing a room with this guy. So it'll be interesting to see. I'd love to be a fly on the wall to hear what these guys are talking about. Number one, him, probably try to sell him on crypto. You know, he offered 50 mil to get out. So maybe he can tell him how to maybe triple his 50 million and turn it into a billion or even a trillion. And then maybe his, you know, he'll talk about what all that baby oil was for. Who knows? But I found that was interesting. Next, we got CZ, who was released. Bitcoin founder was released from prison early due to good behavior. So chances are he's going to get back to Asia and get away from the U.S. I believe conditions of his sentencing is that he couldn't be involved in crypto or at least running Binance anymore, starting another project. But it's good to see one of the leaders, one of the spearheads in the crypto space, out and release. Binance is huge. Here in the US, we really don't understand how big Binance is. But Binance is huge. You think Coinbase is huge? Binance is like 2-3 times that. So it's good to see that he's out. Next, we have Van Eck, who's they're big in Solana. They predicted the next bull cycle, Solana will be up 3,000%. But they believe Solana could reach 50% of ETH's market cap. I totally agree. I think that Solana can surpass ETH. And if it does that, price of Solana could possibly be around $2,000. Now, it sounds like hopium, sounds like I'm crazy, but hey, we can rewind this video next year and see where Solana's at. We're talking about a project that's currently at 150 right now, so it's crazy. But if I told you 2 years ago when Solana was $8 and it got up to $200, you'd think I'm crazy too. Anything can happen. If Bitcoin hits 200,000, you know, Plan B is saying Bitcoin can hit 1 million or something even higher than that this cycle. What do you think the price of ETH, Solana, all these other ones would be? We'll see. It's just good to be in the space and, you know, see what happens with it. Also, SHIB skyrocketed 924% in inflows amid price breakout. So when I talked about SHIB, let's take a look here. Sheeb was up 47% the last 7 days. So according to this article, it goes on to say that Sheeb has seen a 924 surge in large holder inflows, an indicator that tracks funds going into whale-owned addresses. This significant increase comes amid notable price breakouts, so the whales basically are buying Sheeb. They know what happened to Sheeb last cycle, and they're banking that it could happen again. Again, the meme narrative is going to be big. Which memes, which top 3 or 4 are going to be big, I don't know. But I am keeping an eye on Sheeb. That's old school, but new school coins I'm still can look at with Pepe and Bonk. Those are the 3 that I think have big communities and something can happen. And over on AVAX, Cock and You, I think just has a catchy name, tongue-in-cheek type name, and I think it could do well as well. So those are the ones that I'm looking at. But Sheeb is doing good, and oldie but goodie. Doge also had a little breakout. If you look at here, let's take a look back at Doge. Doge was up 20.4%. And could it be because of their big spokesman, Mr. Musk? You know, last cycle he got it up to almost 74 cents, I believe, right before the SNL skit happened. Then it went down. But due to the hype and him hyping it up, you could buy some merch, Tesla merch with Doge. You know, anything can happen. Who knows what's happening? But all over Twitter, or X that is, for the past month, he's been having subliminal messages. And yes, he's not saying it's Doge, but he used the acronyms. Then you see the picture of the dog there. Put 2 and 2 together. I think that he's going to be up to his old tricks again. So Doge could possibly be a breakout this peak bull as well. So Grayscale lists Sui, and Sui, if we look at Sui, for the past, let's see here, 7 days is up 10%. And we talked about influencers, beware of all of that. But, you know, they are listed as Grayscale, and Grayscale does hit projects before they become spot ETFs and they unload on you. But they see projects that have potential and they invest heavily into them, and they believe that Sui has high potential. I agree with that. My reservation with Sui is the inflation. A lot of unlocks, so be aware of that. Speaking of unlocks, according to token unlocks, we see that Sui has one coming up and one day. So right now, again, when I talked about Sui, look at that. Only 26.8 has been unlocked. So you have tons of coins still waiting to be unlocked on you. So in the next 7 days, 125 million will be unlocked. Looking down here, see ADA has an unlock as well. I'm not concerned about ADA because you see almost 85% of the supply is already out there. Aptos, you know, they are going to have an unlock as well. It's kind of like Sui sister chain guys from Facebook. They don't have much information as far as what's going to be unlocked. But if you look at the circulating supply, only 500 millions out there, right? And then, there's just too much. Then we look at Near. Near has an unlock coming up, but it's minor, only 16.14. So that's it for the unlocks. Lastly, I want to talk about some of the crazy things that are going on in crypto. Why you have the likes of Gensler out there, Elizabeth Warren can say these things they say about crypto because of scammers like this. These scammers are from, I believe, Southeast Asia, and they are targeting U.S. citizens, investments, trying to get them to invest in crypto companies, make crypto investments, but they've been stealing from them basically. A lot of scammers out there. They seize, and the authorities have caught them and seized over 6 million. As far as crypto wallets go. Tether was involved in this, and it's just, I wanted to end the video with this. Just be aware. AI is a narrative in the crypto space and in stocks, equities, but it's also a leading tool for fraud right now. You got people have your likeness and move your lips and make it look like you're saying things, but it's actually not the right person. Then you have people calling you, asking for information, wallets. Just beware, especially in peak bull when a lot of money's in the crypto space, scammers will try to get you. So don't give out any personal information. If someone says they're from, you know, my channel, another channel, and asking you for information, give me 1 coin and I'll give you 5 coins. Just know if it's too good to be true, don't do it. So just words to be aware of. Scammers are out there, and it's only going to get crazier as this market picks up. So that is the video for today. I hope you guys have a good weekend or had a good weekend. And next week's going to be exciting. Can't wait to see what happens, but I'll be here to cover it all. So have a good time. Thank you for spending your time with me. Please hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of my content. Talk to you later. Bye.